clearly McFarlane is trying to get themselves, do you say themselves or themselves into this, like, video game, fighting game figure space with, like, Storm Arena, Jada Toys, that kind of stuff. So if you're trying to put your figures in that market, right, or at least a very similar market, and those figures have pretty good accessories, why would you do this trash? Why? Why would you do this trash? No accessories, nothing. 2 hands and a stand. What is this? It looks like a frilled dress. Like, what is that? Who thought that looked good? Look at that. Who thought that looked good? All right, guys. So recently, McFarlane Toys put up a bunch of pre-orders, or had a bunch of pre-orders go up for their Mortal Kombat Classic 7-inch figure line. And honestly, for the most part, if not for the whole part, this is pretty much a scam. The prices are they're disgusting for what you're getting. They're honestly disgusting for what you're getting. And there are a few points I want to go through in this video. The first thing is that they're too expensive. They're overpriced, okay? And of course, we already know, because of the whole tariff thing, companies are going to basically use that as an excuse to charge whatever they want, right? They're gonna, no matter what price they make something, whatever kind of price increase you see, they're just gonna say, oh, remember the tariffs, And because these companies are not transparent about basically how much they actually pay to manufacture these figures or to import them or whatever, we have no way of knowing for sure what kind of increase we would see if they were only charging us because of the tariffs, you understand? Because, for example, I pre-ordered the Storm Arena Alpha 3 Ken figure from Big Bad Toy Store, and in their email to me, they informed me of a price increase, like the tariff surcharge, and it was literally like $1. It was literally just $1. In fact, let me find that right now. Right here. Yeah, so right here, the email they sent me, right? Big Bad Toy Store. It says, your new pre-order price for this item has changed from $26.98 to $27.99. Okay? So it says this price is lower than the new retail price listed on bigbadtoystore.com. And the new price, I believe, is $29.99, right? So let's just check real quick. Storm Arena Alpha 3 Ken. Yeah, $29.99, right? So that is about $3. Well, actually less than $3. Is he 27? About $2. About $2 increase, okay? Whereas McFarlane Toys here, we see them charging $30 for these figures. And for most of them, you're not getting anything. You're literally not getting anything. So Liu Kang right here, everywhere I've seen it, it's $30, okay? Liu Kang is for $30 here on Walmart, Big Bad Toy Store, $30, Sub-Zero on Walmart for $30, Sub-Zero on Big Bad Toy Store for $30, and Scorpion on Big Bad Toy Store for $30. Walmart currently has Liu Kang and Sub-Zero up for pre-order. Big Bad Toy Store has Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Liu Kang. And Walmart also has a 2-pack of Sub-Zero and Melina for $70, okay? So let me first show you what you're getting, right? So Scorpion, I think, is the best value for your money, although it's still pretty overpriced. So let's look at Liu Kang. Liu Kang, right? This is what you get. No, literally. This is it. This is what you get. Like this is what you get. For $30. For $30, you get a reused body from their MK11 Liu Kang. And the pants are not even accurately painted, right? And all you get is another pair of hands and a stand. Can you believe that? For $30, okay? Let's look at Sub-Zero. What do you get for $30 from Sub-Zero? Sub-Zero, here it is. Wait. For Sub-Zero, you get a Sub-Zero body and a pair of hands and a stand. For $30. Okay? A WWE Ultimate Edition figure includes like usually 3 different head sculpts. Do they have a pair of hands? Yeah, they have different hands. In fact, let's find the Randy Orton. The Randy Orton Ultimate Edition from Mattel, right? This is for $35, right? A WWE Ultimate Edition figure, just like about $5 more than the Mattel, but then the McFarlane Mortal Kombat. You get 3 different head sculpts, 3 pairs of hands, a cloth shirt, and an Intercontinental Championship belt. So you're telling me that for $30, this is all you can get? Really? This? Nothing? Not even a fireball? Nothing? Not even a fireball? Liu Kang should at least have a fireball. At least a fireball. Okay? Sub-Zero. Yeah, just a pair of hands and a stand. That's it. For $30, this is what you're getting. Garbage. Of course, Big Bad Toy Store, same thing. Scorpion. This one is probably the best value for your money out of any of them. But then, now that I think about it, he only has 1 pair of hands. So actually, he's pretty much the same as the others. All you get is the Scorpion figure, a spear, and a stand. You don't even get a different pair of hands. And I think one of those hands, so hold on, is one of those hands a closed fist and the other's an open hand? Yeah. He doesn't even have matching hands. He has an open hand and a closed fist. He doesn't even have like 2 fists or 2 open hands. Okay? That's what you get. Ridiculous. For $30. 1 set of hands that are not even a matching pair. And a spear, which I'm pretty sure is not even wired. It's not even a wired spear, so you can't even pose it how you want, really. You can only ever have it like hanging down or you have to hold it up or whatever. It's not even a wired spear for $30. A little piece of string with this little thing on the end. A Scorpion with no accessories besides that for $30. Okay? I say this is a wait for a discount situation personally. Wait for these to go on sale at some point. Honestly, that's what I would advise. Now, I personally have a few discount codes from Walmart because I ordered the lowest born Saiyan Goku like 10 times and never got it. And like many times the customer service was like, oh, I'm so sorry about it. Here's a discount code, whatever. So I have like a bunch of discount codes, right? So I might use them or some of them on these, possibly. I think I've got like a $10 code and like a few, probably 2 $5 codes. I might consider using them on these, but I might not at the same time. I don't know. I don't think these are worth $30 though. I think this is a wait for a discount situation. Let's see, what else is there? So yeah, as far as the price, I also want to show the Jada Toys Vega. So this is also exactly $30. So even a better comparison than the Ultimate Edition Randy Orton figure, right? $30. And what do you get with this one? With this Jada Toys Street Fighter figure for Vega? You get 2 head sculpts, right? One with a mask, one without. And the one with the mask has an articulated ponytail. You get a mask. You get 2 pairs of hands, right? You get those claws right there on that hand. I don't know if they can go on that hand or not, but you get 4 hands, right? 2 pairs of hands. You get a cloth sash thing that can articulate, has a wire in it. You get another claw right here to be like a detached claw. And you get this like swiping effect for $30, okay? Of course, still a bit overpriced, but much better than this. I mean, seriously, look at this. $30 for that versus $30 for this. 2 head sculpts, a mask, 2 sets of hands, a second claw, and a swiping effect, and a cloth wired sash versus this garbage scam. So yeah, there are basically no accessories. You know, Scorpion who has an accessory in the spear doesn't have any extra hands. So they cheaped out on you there, right? They gave you the spear with Scorpion to be like, oh, look, he has a spear. Yeah, but he only has 1 set of hands, right? So yeah, this is trash. Let's continue. So as far as accuracy goes, The ninjas are pretty accurate, but Liu Kang is egregiously not accurate. So look at Liu Kang right here, right? And look at the sprite from the game. You see here? This is from MK2, okay? His pants, the black, should go like way down here. Look, you see? So it's not even accurate. They're charging you $30, giving you no accessories basically, and it's not even accurate. Okay, so yeah, let's see Sub-Zero, how accurate he is. I think the main thing with the ninjas, well, Sub-Zero is not technically a ninja, he's Lin Kuei, right? But we call them ninjas generally. People generally call them ninjas. So the little string here is a bit too like thick. If you look right here, it's supposed to be like very thin like this. So like, and also this part to me looks a little different. Like there should be more blue under the string, if you see what I mean. Like it should be there's more blue here. So it's not completely accurate, but it's close enough, I guess. Scorpion's basically the same thing. The exact same mold as Sub-Zero, I believe, which I don't actually mind. Because I mean, these are the original MK games were like very known for like, palette swaps, the exact same character model or sprite with different colors. So I don't mind that Scorpion and Sub-Zero are the exact same as far as their mold goes. I mean, they should be if they were to be accurate to the original games, so the older games, so I don't mind that. But yeah, I mean, I will say though, the paint on the face here, now granted, this could be just a prototype image and it could be like painted a little differently than the mass produced stuff, but that does look kind of cheap looking, to me. The paint there just looks kind of cheap. Like if like a random customizer on eBay painted it, you know what I mean? It doesn't look like professional quality paint work that you'd find from like a factory. So that's a bit iffy. I saw someone did a review of Katana and her paint work looked very, very cheap. It looked super cheap. So not only is McFarlane charging you more while giving you no accessories, but the paint also looks very cheap on the faces. That looks like cheap. Okay. So yeah, I do want these figures in a certain sense, but I don't $30 want them. You understand? Way overpriced. They're just cheaping out. It's complete trash. And another thing to talk about is Liu Kang's torso. What is this? It looks like a frilled dress. Like, what is that? Who thought that looked good? Why would you make someone's torso look like the ocean waves? It looks like waves in the ocean. Why? That I don't understand. I don't know who thought that. Look at that. Who thought that looked good? That just looks really, really horrible. I do not know why anyone would think that looked good. Let's look at Vega's torso, right? Let's look at Vega's torso. Let's see. Is this a good one? Yeah. You see? That looks, yeah, that's how a torso should look, right? Smooth, transition. Yeah, that looks fine. It's not like butterfly, frills going on. And then Randy Orton, now he has a bit of the butterfly going on, but not as bad as Liu Kang. He definitely has a bit of butterfly going on, but Liu Kang just looks like a pastry design, like icing on a cake design, like swirly, like, you know what I mean? So no. So will I get these figures? Possibly. Like I do want them in a certain sense, but not for $30. McFarlane needs to lower the prices on these, or hopefully they go on sale at some point, or I might consider using some of my discount codes. We'll have to see, but for $30, nah, this is not it. This is not it for $30, man. At least the shipping's free, right? So actually buying them from Walmart would be cheaper than Big Bad Toy Store, because Big Bad Toy Store, you got to pay the $4 shipping. But on Walmart, the shipping's free, which usually the shipping is only free for, I think, $35 and above. So I'm surprised that they have free shipping for $30. So, you could argue, I guess, like because the shipping's free, perhaps it's not a complete scam, because you're basically like they're giving you free shipping. They're paying for the shipping in the price. And it says right here, I'm surprised by this. It says sold and shipped by McFarlane Collectors Club Inc. not sold and shipped by Walmart. So McFarlane actually, if this is like their legit, page or account here, they put these up themselves on Walmart's website. This is not Walmart selling these. This is McFarlane selling them directly. So at least the shipping's free here, but it's not free on Big Bad Toy Store, of course. You got to pay the $4 shipping over here. So, due to the free shipping, you could argue it's not so horrible, but I just don't get why would McFarlane, right? And look at the packaging. They give them this like arcade style classic Mortal Kombat packaging, right? Of course, this is obviously copying Jada Toys packaging. Let's look at it. Where's their packaging? Is there even an image here? I don't think so, but Jada Toys has the like arcade game style packaging. Clearly McFarlane is trying to get themselves, do you say themselves or themselves into this like, video game, fighting game figure space with like, Storm Arena, Jada Toys, that kind of stuff. So if you're trying to put your figures in that market, right, or at least a very similar market, and those figures have pretty good accessories, why would you do this trash? Why? Why would you do this trash? No accessories, nothing. 2 hands and a stand, right? Just garbage. Even the Storm Arena, let's see, Storm Arena, I can't even spell. Storm Arena Baki. Storm Arena Baki. Here we go. Let's see what accessories he has. I don't know why this scrolling is so ridiculously slow. Good grief. All right, here we go. So he has 2 different head sculpts, 3 pairs of hands, and a stand. What does McFarlane give you? And this is $26.99. Of course, it says excludes tariff surcharge. What does McFarlane give you? No extra head sculpt, 2 pairs of hands, and a stand for $30. So yeah, as I said, I think this is a wait for a discount situation, but if you want to buy them, the choice is yours. If I do eventually get them, I'd probably like to animate, Scorpion versus Sub-Zero or something. Liu Kang could be used for like the Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance intro, that kind of stuff. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching and bye for now.